Caution. Entertainment Banter uses potty language that most Sunday school teachers would not approve of. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very fired up Entertainment Banter. My name is Matt. No,
you wish.
My name? No, I don't.
No, you don't.
My name is Joel.
And I'm Matt.
And Matt. So we are going to talk about
we are.
Disney Plus and its possibilities of failing, possibilities of succeeding, and how much the company likes to screw over its employees with choices that they think they're going to make on their own.
Well, I'm going to say a couple of things, and then I'm going to say a couple of things, and then you get to talk the whole time.
We just got this fucking email. Let's hear it. Let's go.
We don't get emails anymore. What are you talking about?
This is fucking amazing.
All right.
I wonder how that's going to affect me, but anyways, go on.
Hey, listen, it affects everybody. All right, so here's the thing, okay? All right, so the first thing I'm going to say is the fourth quarter earnings came out. Bob Iger had an interview today with CNBC, which normally I don't watch because CNBC is kind of doofy. But anyways, it doesn't matter. The point I'm making is Bob Iger had a meeting with CNBC before he had his meeting with the shareholders. And in his interview, he looked shaken. He looked unsure, particularly about Disney Plus. And it showed. And I thought that was very interesting. And then it goes on to where he actually did his shareholder meeting, and that also didn't go very well. But let's talk about the interview with CNBC real quick. And that is, he was talking about Disney Plus. And a long story short, when Disney Plus was created, the mindset was you had Netflix, you had Hulu, you had Amazon Prime, you had well, now there's going to be Apple TV is what it's called.
Apple TV
YouTube
Plus.
YouTube, thank you. There was you have YouTube's trying, they're trying to do that. So Disney was like, hey, guess what? We're gonna have Disney Plus. So the only way you get our content is you're gonna have to get Disney Plus. That's the only way you can get Disney content now. And a couple of things backfired on that right away. One was they actually had contracts with Netflix that requires Netflix that they are still allowed to get certain content. So, for example, Disney Plus may have it right away, but then Netflix will still get it. So they couldn't get out of that contract. So that was one flub right there. Another flub was the fact that when Disney strong-armed and got Hulu, the majority of Hulu, control of Hulu, I should say, they started strong-arming rival companies like Sony, which happened to be involved with the Spider-Man talks and all this other stuff. How convenient. So Disney's tried to strong-arm Sony by removing the Hulu app off of all of their products. So that was the two things. So Disney made it abundantly clear that Disney Plus was going to be this elitist thing that you could only get for Disney content. Well, and the final fact on that is Amazon. Amazon is a competitor of Disney. Amazon Prime, the Fire Stick, as it were. Disney originally said
not the Fire Stick.
Prime. The Prime
now.
But the Fire.
Prime.
Right, but my point is the Fire Stick would not have the app on it because Prime was a direct competitor with what would be Disney Plus, and so they were trying to strong arm Amazon. Well, guess what? The customers at Amazon were asking, when's Disney Plus app going to be on here? Because Amazon, if you guys look, they have a variety of companies. They have Starz, they have HBO, they've got Boomerang. They've got all kinds of different channels already on there that you can pay to watch. So why not have Disney Plus on there? Well, Disney was trying to dominate the market. They bought Fox. They have Hulu. So they were thinking, hey, we can get rid of Netflix. We can get rid of Amazon Prime. And life will be good. Well, guess what? They changed their tune because now Disney Plus is available on Prime, on Amazon. It's available on Apple Plus. It's available on Microsoft. It's available on I can't remember quite a few other products out there right now. So the long story short is the only one it's not available on is Netflix. So really, after spending all this money to make their own private streaming content, they didn't really achieve anything because they could have just kept it.
Matt, you're comparing devices to streaming services.
Right, but you know what I'm saying.
Because I know, but Netflix would never be in that equation because
that's the only one. Right.
No,
I'm talking about Netflix. I'm not talking about Netflix as a streaming service. I'm talking, meaning in the sense, I know what you're saying, as a platform for streaming products. What I'm saying is they were trying to destroy all streaming services like Prime. Like, they wouldn't destroy Hulu for obvious reasons, but Prime and Netflix were the main ones that they were trying to strong arm, and
the only
failed.
ones really
it backfired
because
for now.
Well, because Apple TV Plus is promoting its own products, just like what Disney Plus will be doing, and then you got HBO Go promotes its own products, and then you got but what I'm saying is though, I think Warner Brothers or NBC, I can't remember which, probably both, they're going to start their own streaming services as well, is what I'm saying. So my point is, Disney was trying to strong arm all of this, and it backfired. So now Disney is relying on Amazon to show their streaming app as part of a store service, which I thought was kind of ironic. And in the interview, Bob Iger even hinted that he wasn't sure of the success of Disney Plus because, one, he said that the whole reason why they're talking about the lump packaging with Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN, especially ESPN, is the fact that if you lump the package, you're guaranteed money because people will still, even if Disney Plus sucks, you still can get ESPN and you can still get Hulu, which will have FX, which they just bought. So he already knew that Disney Plus could be a big tanker, especially with all the Star Wars flops and Marvel may or may not go SJW and all this stuff. So he already has got a backup plan saying that, well, worst case scenario, people will buy it for ESPN and for Hulu, which has FX stuff, which they just acquired. Again, buying, not creating. So I just thought that was very interesting that he would backpedal that fast on that. And he also made it sound like he was very surprised that, I think it was the Netherlands or something, they tested out Disney Plus. Yeah, they tested out Disney Plus, and he was like, thankfully it worked, which is hilarious because you and I both know, I don't know how, but like when a date is set for any kind of Disney product to be revealed, whether it's a show, movie, etc., that they're, no matter how, if it's on fire, they will still put it out. Meaning like they'll show it before they put the fire out. And he's like, yeah, thankfully it worked or whatever. I don't know exactly what he said. I'm paraphrasing now, but it's like it tested well.
He said, thankfully it worked. He said,
no, he said
surprisingly it worked. He said it tested well, which is any CEO would say. Like it got well received, is what he said.
Yes.
And he said that it was easy to navigate. But he also said that it was up and running, and he alluded that he was grateful that it was up and running.
But he
which
never
meant to say like he pushed it to the last minute. Which means that they weren't sure if it was even going to work. Like they didn't have it ready to go.
Star Wars Land is still not ready to go.
Exactly my point. So, all right, moving on. So now I've talked. Now the rest of the show is yours.
Wow, you really aren't going to talk. Oh my gosh. So, Disney Plus. Come on.
You're sweating now, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I can either
payback ass.
So with all that being said, with Matt and his loud mouth, all what he said, we somehow acquired some information recently. Just actually right before we started this pod, we really wanted to
right
talk
off
about
the presses,
off the press. And as we say this,
beer, by the way,
we are definitely going to be uploading this in the next 2 days because it's so hot, and we want it out before Disney Plus comes out. So today is November 11th. No, 10th. 11th. What's today?
Technically, it's the 9th.
Whatever.
Keep drinking your eggnog.
And Disney Plus comes out this Tuesday. And there's a lot of talks in the park itself about whether or not
You're talking about the theme parks, the resorts.
Yeah, there's a lot of at the parks because we somehow we know people there. And
we know people on Broadway, the parks,
we know people
film
everywhere.
industry. We know people everywhere.
So the question was, we're talking a lot of not smack, but a lot of facts of how Disney has been dropping the ball lately, and it's not been the best
since 2005.
Yeah,
interesting. Isn't that when Iger started working there? I can't.
Strange. Iger did
CEO.
start.
I mean,
2005 he started.
2005. How interesting.
And it's just interesting to see that the park has been struggling a little bit as of late, with Star Wars Land being one of their biggest flops. It's funny how also that
1% growth after a new land opened.
No, actually it was 1% decline.
Oh, it was a decline? I thought it was a growth.
And it was 5% more profit, but they saw a decline, and attendance was flatlined.
Right, but that's okay. But that was with a shareholder meeting, which was the 5% growth only happened because they kept
of the increase of wages,
right?
Yes.
Which
not wages,
prices I know what you
tickets,
mean. The resort
tickets
prices,
and foods and all that. Yeah,
but the shareholders also brought that up with Iger and said, "Hey, this is a problem. People are complaining about it," which is something we've been talking about for a long time now.
Ever since I worked there, yeah. And now the park is expensive as all hell. I didn't work there. I mean, someone worked there.
Well, we've worked everywhere. Yes.
So there's been Matt and I have been saying that Star Wars Land was one of the biggest flops. One of the Disneyland's biggest flops. Like, even though Disney, the parks are one of the biggest money makers, it's not losing much money since they're hiking up prices. But the park itself,
parks have bailed out
but the land, Star Wars,
was
their biggest failure.
Yes.
To date. So we were also wondering, as we were talking about Disney Plus, a lot of times employees get free stuff from Disney. They sometimes promote right now we get ABC Family for free. We can just log in with our
a lot of channels already.
Yeah,
with the apps, yes.
And Disney offers a lot of that for free, and they also offer employees. I'm sure everyone should know this. Disneyland employees get access to the park for free, and they're allowed to bring themselves and 3 guests with them each time. So we just got
a lot of people are going to hate you that work at the parks right now. I just want you to know this.
Yep. Fuck you.
That rule might change now, though.
But that rule may change now because we just got something interesting off the press saying that it was a lot of dick sucking in the email saying how much we love our employees and how they're so different from everybody and all,
and how we honor the legacy of Walt Disney.
And we honor the legacy of Walt and how individual.
And Walt wanted everybody to come to this happy place. That was the whole point of Disneyland.
And they wanted to let you know that every benefit is all geared toward how you experience Disney, right?
Right.
And how you would want to experience it. So you can either take a Disney Plus package or your sign-ins, which is to get your friends and family into Disneyland for free. So you get to choose now free Disneyland, which is about $180 tickets,
right?
Or
one ticket.
And you can get 3 people at a time. So it's over almost $600 a day. You can bring them in 16 times a year. Unless you have a silver pass. People are really getting mad at me now.
Keep going. Just keep going. No, because I want to add to this. Keep going.
Right. But I'm not saying just Disneyland. With that pass, you can go to Disney World. You can take your friends and family to, Hong Kong, Shanghai. You can take them to Paris. You just can't go to Tokyo Disney. That's a franchise, guys. Disneyland Tokyo is a franchise.
Yes.
But we still have creative control there. We just don't have financial control there. So you can have all that, or you can get their $6 a month Disney Plus. Actually, we don't know what the package is. They didn't say what the package was.
It is. It's the price of what Netflix averages, which is $12 to $13 for all 3: Hulu, ESPN, and Disney Plus.
So you can get that, which is only $140 value a year, or you can keep, which is 1 ticket at Disneyland, right?
Can I just tell you too?
Hold on. Can I just say one thing?
Going.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Iger? Are you fucking kidding me?
No. This is brilliant. It's this kind of mentality that I love to watch crash and burn. Because let's think about this. Some
Holy
bean counters.
shit.
No. Let's hear this out. Okay.
Yeah.
This is so. I got into so many arguments, so many different people over the years about this kind of stuff. But here, let's look at the reality of this.
I'm about
for a
to text
second,
some people.
Okay? Well, no, just wait. Just let me finish this thought, okay? All right. So, okay, let's get this straight. People have experience working in the theme parks, obviously. They also have experience working in the theatrical Broadway version and film industry, right? TV, all that stuff, right? We've worked across the board, premieres, you name it, right? We've done all these types of things. Miley Cyrus birthday parties, for crying out loud. All right, so here's the thing. What I find interesting is some bean counter was like, oh, you know what? Sucking up all our profits. We got to make up profits, right? Because all our movies are tanking. They always go to the theme parks to bail out the theatrical.
They'll penny pinch at the parks to save money everywhere else. Yeah,
right, exactly. They'll fire half the employees at the parks or whatever they need to do if that means they can buy Fox, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. But my point is this. So the bean counters are talking like, we need to make up that money. We bought all this shit. So my thought is this. They're like, I know all those worthless employees that get paid minimum wage or a little bit above, they get all this access to the parks, right? Well, you can only allow so many people into the park. And if we let these people keep coming in, these employees with their families and everything, that's taken away outside money, right? Outside money.
They make money off that, though. They're so stupid.
Right. That's my point. Is the reality is, for anybody that doesn't know, this is how the parks work. I don't know exactly what the percentages of outside people coming in are, but I can tell you this. Especially in SoCal, like if you're talking about Disneyland or Disney World or whatever,
that's Southern California.
The annual pass holders are a big portion. Most of the annual pass holders in these locations are locals. Then you have the employees that are most likely local. So you're talking the majority of the income that these parks and revenues come in from are local. Okay, so that means that probably a small, I don't know, maybe a third of the majority of the people, or maybe half, I don't know, are coming from outside. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have those.
There's a lot that come outside. There's a lot that come outside.
But I'm just telling you this. What I'm just telling you this is, for the people that can go in every single day and buy their drinks and buy the latest souvenirs, because look, if you're a Disney employee, most likely you're a Disney fan, and that means you're the type of person that wants to see what the new park products are and all these other things, and so you're going to be the first one there to buy all this crap when it comes out. Majority of the people that bought Star Wars Land garbage when the first day it came out was probably the employees. I guarantee it. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, because the people that make the movies and the people that work the parks, they're not the problem. They're the good guys, okay? They're the ones that bring it every single day. It's the people that make these terrible decisions where they're trying to nickel and dime the people that bring it every day, like the park people that work and the people that at the studios that work. Those are the people that are suffering the most. It's not the people that make these decisions. It's those individuals. So now they're saying, this is just something that bites the hand that feeds you. So not only are you going to treat your employees like garbage at times, but now you're basically telling them that you aren't worth letting us give you any more of your benefits anymore. So it was a benefit. It was one of the things you got to get. That was part of the perks of working there. Now they're saying you're not worth that perk anymore. Why don't you choose some way cheaper service option that costs the company literally nothing, and you can just give us more money by letting other outsiders come in. And I know that's a big complaint for people coming outside, but if Disney's hurting for money, then they shouldn't have the annual pass holders. It shouldn't happen. And they shouldn't have made it so that you can pay. And they shouldn't have made it that it's monthly, because if you have to commit to pay for the entire year up front, then that means you're committed. But if you're half-assing it and you just buy them, then no one cares. You know what I mean? Like, you're not making that money, and there's no guarantee those people are coming into the parks. And what I'm saying is, if you're a bean counter at Disney and you want to pay someone, if you want to give someone $140 a year discount for a streaming service, as opposed to, like Joel said, a $600 every visit, service, which obviously is a very generous offer. I'm not saying it's not, but what you're realizing is you give someone $140 to stream something, or you give someone the opportunity to every time they come in to spend $140. Which one do you think is going to make the company more money? And so the fact that, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that
there's even an option is crazy.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Like it's just another stupid decision that's going to bring Disney down the toilet bowl. Because every time I went to the park on my day off, which was few and rare and far in between back in the day, I would spend some money sometimes. If something came out I thought was kind of cool, I would get it. You know, even with the discount.
This is one step from them removing the sign-ins. You know that's what this
absolutely.
is.
No, their goal is to get rid of that. They're going to get rid of. Under Iger, we've said this before. They have taken more and more away from the employees.
At least from the hourly employees, absolutely.
Yes, right. That's true too, because we saw the other side of the coin, didn't we? Where people from the studios and everywhere else got to come in and party all night and kick the paying guests out. Ooh, we're gonna get busted for this one. Dark side of Disney.
Hey Matt, I did take a CBT recently, and we haven't given away any secrets or anything because nothing is like provoking. But you're technically supposed to keep Disney secrets until you die.
Well. Oops.
We haven't done anything that I'm aware of.
I haven't said anything cool about anything inside the resort that people don't know that's public knowledge already.
Exactly.
So anyway,
oh my gosh! Like I want to know who's gonna take this deal. Like, are you kidding me, Iger? Like, you really people think you're like? We're not saying because employees will still be able to self-admit themselves to the park.
Right.
He's not taking that away, and employees also get hard tickets as complimentary every year.
But that's very limited. That's only like one or two, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's two, and then it's with if you have more dependents, you get a little more. But so they're not taking that away. But that's not like 16 times or with your silver pass every fucking day.
Right. Oh yeah, silver passes. So let me ask you this: you've earned your silver pass. What's that mean for you now? Is that null and void now?
You're going to be paying for Disney Plus. You're not going to hand that up. But who's going to do it? Like, a lot of times people get hired at Disney for the access to bring their family into the park. But here's the shittier thing. You're a young 16, 17-year-old kid. You got into the holiday parade at Disneyland and you want to, you're getting all excited because you're there for Christmas and this is what you remember. You're growing up and you just love Disneyland at Christmas and now you're going to be a part of it. And then you're like, I'm going to bring my family to come. They can barely afford to come to Disneyland, but I got hired here. I know I get sign-ins. I can bring in 3 of them a year. And then Disneyland goes, you can't sign your family into the park. Disneyland side during Christmas, only DCA side, California Adventure. And then you're crushed. You don't know how you get your family in there. You have no idea.
That's just one example of many. Unless you said you're working on the other side of the coin, if you're working for the studios or something else, you might be able to get other benefits.
But the whole point was that like you got this job because you're in high school and you always wanted to perform at Disneyland. It's a big deal.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, I mean, obviously you and I are out right now. We've passed that bridge, but I'm just saying like, you're absolutely right. But what I find interesting is from 2005 on, that's when the decline of not taking care of your own really started to happen. And they got so brazen about it that they started doing it to their paying guests. And that's when I got sick of it. And it's so interesting because now they're backpedaling on everything. Even when they're backpedaling, they're still screwing it up. It just blows my mind. I'm so glad that we're in different aspects now of our lives in the entertainment world. It just cracks me up.
Some of us are still tied to certain things.
They keep running into the same glass walls. Like, I just don't understand it. I just don't get it. So
with my final thought on this.
Well, so your prediction of Disney Plus. Let's talk about Disney Plus real quick before we get going, and then we can do final thoughts.
I think it's going to do well in the first month or so because hardcore fans and everything are going to get it. I mean, I'm probably going to get it.
Regular Disney fans that don't follow the politics.
Once I see the package that it does with Hulu, because I have Hulu, and I already paid $13 for Hulu, so because I have commercial free. If it's a little more for Disney Plus, I'm going to get Disney Plus with that, of course. Fuck yeah. But to be honest, I think the user-friendly service will probably be fine. I mean, Disney usually makes pretty usable things, and They have Hulu and all that, so they have people around to figure it out. So I think Disney Plus as a solid tool will be great. But with the amount of content and all that, unless they start, because I heard they're not going to have, unless they release everything Disney on it, it's not going to do well. And I heard they're not going to have everything on Disney. Like
the first
if I don't see X-Men on there from the 90s because they have that franchise.
You mean the animated series?
Yeah, if I don't see that going on there, then why?
So here's
the shit
thing.
Like that, or gummy bears. I better start seeing gummy bears on there.
Listen,
gummy bears.
Here's the interesting thing about this. So when they did it in the Netherlands, they premiered it with just old content, which I think is great. But here in the United States, they're obviously starting it out with all of their new shows. Half their new shows are these weird reality shows. And then they're only starting out with some of the original Disney content, not everything. I think that's a huge mistake. It's a huge mistake.
Mm-hmm.
They should have. I mean, and here's the thing. I saw a list. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's a minuscule list in compared to what they actually have in their repertoire. You know what I mean? Like, and they're going to slowly release it year after year after year, more and more stuff. But I don't know if that's some weird marketing idea strategy where they're like, well, stay tuned and you'll be a loyal customer and you'll get more stuff year after year after year. But to me, it's more like just get it all out there now. I mean, because let's be real. Like if you're not a fan of anything except like you said, Gummy Bears. If Gummy Bears that's the one show you just really miss watching, if it's not on there, you're not going to get it. I mean, and the new shows, like I said, a lot of them are weird reality shows. I'll be honest with you, a lot of them are probably like segments of old cast TV, because it sounds like some of the stuff they're trying to honor the park stuff, which is a hypocritical thing all in its own. Like, that's the irony of it. They're like, oh, we're going to honor the cast members, but at the same time, we're going to fuck them over with all these new policies. Like, it's just so ridiculously hypocritical. Ridiculous. It's disgusting. And so anyways, let's just look at like Mandalorian and the new Star Wars Clone Wars series, because everyone's looking forward to those, and the Marvel ones. The reality is, if there's only 13 episodes or less, that's not enough for an entire year. You know what I mean? It's just not enough.
That's how normal. That's how normal binge watching is, though.
It is, but usually things like Netflix and other places will pump out stuff more than once a year. I think they're just doing it this once a year, and that's it. So like once those 13 episodes are done, you got to watch those. That's it. I mean, you know what I mean?
That's
like
how a lot of seasons are, though. I mean, I finished The Boys on Amazon.
The first season, yes. But what I'm saying is this. If the only show you're looking forward to is The Mandalorian, for example, 13 episodes, you could probably watch that in a day if you really tried. You know what I mean? Like one day. So now you have a whole year of all this other random shit.
Pace yourself.
And, you know, but my point is, you're paying for a service for an entire year, and like, you know, there's nothing else to look forward to. That's what I'm saying. It's just kind of like, you could buy The Mandalorian. Hopefully, that they're smart, they'll put it on DVD and they'll put it on iTunes.
You can't justify that just from that, because people watch Netflix. Like, I watched all
but
of this,
the
like,
content constantly changes on Netflix. What I'm saying is,
I rarely turn on my Netflix.
With the content on Netflix changes quite often.
Sure.
With Plus, the content can't change because all they have is Disney and Fox. And you know what I mean? And I include Marvel and Star Wars in that, obviously. But my point is, like, that will never change. Once it's on there, it's never going away. You know what I mean? And
but
then it's like,
they do have other content. They could, and they do, and they will make, and we'll see what happens.
They will, but you have to wait a year, and it has to survive. It has to survive in order for that stuff to continue.
I think it's going to be a solid contender, but I don't think it's going to break any barriers.
I think it's going to be a lot of work and money spent for not a lot of payoff.
It's not going to be what they wanted.
Exactly.
So it's going to be. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think it's just going to be another streaming service. It's not going to be like, oh my god, a streaming service. Like Apple TV Plus came out, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it came out already? Oh, okay.
Right. No one cares. Right. After a while, no one cares. Right.
Like, no, I didn't even know it came out. It just came out recently, and like, whatever.
It did.
Like,
well, and that's the thing too. Like, no one's talking about. Like I said, I don't even remember. I want to say it was whoever bought. Maybe it was NBC Universal, but whoever bought The Office back. You know, they're going to start their own service. No one's like, raving about that either, but it's going to happen. So that's it. Is that your final thought, Joel?
My final thought is I may have to rethink my financial investments. But I'm going to wait a week or two.
Well, just remember, too, if Disney's has to immediately go bankrupt after Iger leaves by some accidental reason or something stupid like that, after all the spending that he's done and not a lot of return in the sense of building off that spending, a company might buy it and the stock might get split or something, but it'll grow back. It'll grow back over time.
Got a lot of money
all stock
in there.
does. Yep. So on that note, thank you for listening to Entertainment Banter. My name is Matt.
Wait, you end it? I thought I ended it.
Yes. No, I end it. I say my name is Matt, and then you say
my name is Joel.
And then you say
I'm done. Can't hear Matt still complaining? We'll hit next and listen to the next video.